Would you agree that men work harder and longer hours than women? This is actually a wrong assumption. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, or OECD, one third up to one half of the valuable economic activity in its 26 member countries do not measure this by wage or hours. So that being said, since women do more activities than men, they're actually being underestimated. Um, the percent of women that joined the labor force increased from 20.6% in 1900 to 57.2% in 2013. Um, Married women in 1900, 4% of them joined the labor force, and around 1960, 18.6 women joined the labor force, and around this time, 2017, there's actually 64% of women. The News poll found that 25% of women make um, the news poll found that 25% of respondent on a survey said that they would prefer to see mothers stay at home and be with their children or tend for their children. But 35% of men stated that they would actually reduce their working hours or even quit their job if their spouse or wives are making more money than them. My name is King Angeles. I am a business management student, and today I will be talking about the wage discrimination or wage differences between gender. In 1999, men's annual income is about $37,000 and women's income is about $27,000. In 2013, there was a decline of wage in men's wage, not because of specifically the money or the money part of it, but because there's a lot of skilled labor jobs that was moved overseas because we're able to use people from overseas to work for lower price or lower salary. Professor William Bilby and James Barron, they're both professors, and they said that men and women actually do not work the same job and that their standards are two different standards. That men's standards depends on men's hierarchy and women's depends on women's hierarchy. And that women's occupation pay less not because of the job itself, but because women are the one doing the jobs. So for example, let's say the clerical job. In the early 20th century, it was actually a lot of men that was doing the job around that time. And around the middle of the 20th century, there's less men doing the job and more women doing the job. And because of that, the clerical position was said to be it's less demanding, and so then the pay scale for that job dropped. And also another example is the veterinarian medicine. It was dominated by male for a long time. In 1960, only 5% of veterinarian students are female. And today there's over 60% of female students. And in the 1970s, when men was dominating this profession, their pay is close to a physician's pay. And today, their pay is right around $70,000 to $80,000, which is actually, and which physicians today make about double that amount. The National Committee on Pay Equality, the National Committee on Pay Equality committee said that in 1996 alone, working women lost $1 million due to wage inequality, and women lose about $400,000 over their lifespan because of the wage discrimination. A Black and Hispanic male make less money than white male. Black male make just a little bit more than white women, and then Black and Hispanic women earn significantly more, significantly less than white men and white women. And then Black women earn slightly more than Hispanic male. In the with someone holding a college degree, women with only 29% of women with women with college degree make 29% less than male with college degree, and women with college degree make almost the same as women with college degree make almost the same amount of money as a male that doesn't have a college degree. Glass ceiling keeps women from being promoted. About 15.7% of all corporation board seats female. Only 17% of them are 17% women are CEO. Restoration or retaining the all-male atmosphere in the office is one of the other reasons why glass ceiling prevents women from being promoted. There's Hopkins versus Price Waterhouse, and the court that it was Hopkins versus Price Waterhouse. So Anne Hopkins, she took the company to court because she felt like she was discriminated, and because she did not get a promotion from her company, and she found out that she actually made more business than his male counterpart that got the promotion. And what happened was, one of the person that thought that she should fight about the promotion told her that the reason why she did not get the promotion was because she's a female, but she is very demanding, and that she should be a little bit more feminine, but maybe wear more makeup and talk and walk more feminine. Because of this, she actually won the court. She received $40,000 back on back pay and fees, and she actually got the promotion. Also, age is another big problem when it comes to wage discrimination. Before the age of 35, women's salary is a little bit better, but then after that, then it dropped a little bit. That's actually also right around the time that women starts having children, and after, if women decided to stop working, and then after a little bit decided to go back and to work, then they actually make less than what they made before when they were working. So in conclusion, I showed wage differences. This is statistics between men and women. But despite the big differences or inequality, women are actually here to stay, and more women are wanting to be in the workforce. Um, Women work for the same reason as men does, to support their family and also to have a feel of achievement, and they would also like to be as successful as their male counterpart.